Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. You are not going to regret this. Trust me. So everyone talks about the silver shortage, silver scarcity, but I was like, you know what? Let's actually see what's going on. So I did some digging like usual, and I found out how much gold and silver is left in the world, in the ground, and when exactly will we run out? We got some great stuff here, folks. I got a forecast of when we'll run out of each metal, and also the coming silver shortage and 3 ways to play it. So this is one of those videos that while I'm uncovering this stuff, I'm like, man, I cannot wait to share this with you guys and gals, right? This is going to be a very fun video, but also educational. So make sure you like the video and comment down below. I love when you guys participate. Let me know what you think about this stuff, if it's accurate, what you're going to do about the silver shortage, right? I just love when you are also in the spotlight. I don't want it to always be about me. I want you to throw your 2 cents in as well. Also, this is the last chance. We're hours away from my silver giveaway announcement video. I'm going to be picking 2 lucky stackers, but if you don't click subscribe right now, go to the description and enter in that video. You're going to miss your chance to win silver. So anyways, let's jump into this interesting stuff. So I want to start with this article first because it just gets right into it, right? It's talking about how much gold and silver there might be left on Earth above and below ground, and when we might run out in years. I mean, you can't get much more straight to the point than that, folks, right? So some estimates indicate that gold mining may reach the point of being economically unsustainable by 2050, and without large advances in mining technology or huge reserves being discovered, large-scale gold mining likely won't continue past 2075. Right, so think about the bigger picture. Our kids, our grandkids. This could be. I mean, even for us, as it becomes more scarce, not even just gold, but especially silver. Once we look at these numbers, it's just unrealistic to think that we're just always going to have silver and gold, and it's just always going to be plentiful. I mean, it's already starting right now, folks. So some estimates indicate that we could run out of silver somewhere between 2028 and 2030. I mean, it's already 2021, so 7 years, and that's what a lot of articles have been saying that I've been researching. But look, a lot of people try to speculate, try to theorize, try to throw out these theories and these guesstimates, and look, this stuff is telling us what's actually happening. You can try to speculate all you want, but when we're looking at this stuff, looking at actual supply and demand, actual production out of the ground, you can't argue this. So some reports indicate that silver and gold can be lost to industrial use, especially silver, and lack of recycling and material recovery when waste is dumped. Now, gold is usually almost always recycled, right? Rescrapped, reused, because gold is used for jewelry and necklaces. So people scrap that stuff, they pawn it, it gets melted down, used for more jewelry and earrings. Silver, though, is used in technology, so most silver is thrown away. So what should also be mentioned is that there's a lot of gold located deep in the earth and in other locations, but a lot of it might be physically inaccessible or too expensive to extract compared to what can be paid for it by buyers. So one problem with gold is that it can be scattered in trace amounts instead of being concentrated. So let's look at this. How much gold has already been mined? So current estimates as 2017 suggests that around 187,200 tons of gold have already been mined, 2/3 of which are mined in the last 70 years or so. So how much gold is left on Earth in the ground? As far as the amount of gold that remains in Earth, there are about 57,000 tons left to be mined. So when will we run out of gold in years? Based on known reserves, estimates suggest that gold mining could reach the point of being economically unsustainable by 2050, though new vein discoveries will likely push that date back somewhat. New technologies may also make it possible to extract some known reserves that aren't currently economical to access, but it is unlikely that large-scale gold mining will continue past 2075 without either huge mining technology advances or the discovery of currently unknown massive gold deposits. And you could also think about mining meteors and stuff that Elon Musk has talked about it. As we advance technologically, we're obviously going to find other ways, but as silver being a byproduct, as silver already being more rare than gold essentially, especially since the gold to silver ratio is 8 to 1, but most of those 8 ounces of silver gets thrown away compared to the 1 ounce of gold that gets recycled, for, that's going to stay in circulation. It's definitely a lot lower. So since 2016, it is estimated that 48.5 billion ounces has been produced and mined, and that's talking about silver. Most physical silver mined over time has been lost to industrial use or gone unrecycled. So how much silver is left on Earth in the ground? It is estimated there was 530,000 metric tons of silver reserves in 2018. Although silver was a principal product at several mines, silver was primarily obtained as a byproduct from lead, zinc, copper, and gold, meaning they find it by accident. They're not looking for silver, but if they find it, they'll take it. So when will we run out of silver in years? Based on known reserves and production rates, we could run out of silver somewhere between 2028 and 2033. So that's an interesting thing, because that's when we can run out of it, but it's already scarce because the above ground supply is scarce from the technologically advancing society we're in with 5G electric vehicles, solar panels, silver lithium ion batteries, and not only that, the individuals like you and I that are buying up all the silver. And as the price goes up, everyone, their mom, their dog, their cat, people that have never invested a single dollar in their entire life is going to be trying to get a slice of the silver pie as well. So you have these big tech, big business in the industrial sector that needs silver, but also all of us silver stackers that want silver, and we're not selling it. So why gold and silver estimates can be inaccurate, and why we might have a lot more gold and silver than estimates indicate. So this would be interesting. So gold and silver reserves and holdings are not always reported accurately. It's hard to track above ground gold and silver because it's used in items like jewelry, gets lost, changes hands without records, or in private investment and industrial purposes. Smaller mines in developing nations often don't report their mined gold and silver. There's theoretically almost an unlimited amount of particularly gold left in the earth, but in very small traces. So there's a difference between the presence of gold, economically viable reserves, where a mine can be set up and extract the gold. A lot of gold is located deep in the earth, and we talked about that a little bit. Gold, for example, is also found in the ocean with certain barriers in place for us to mine. That's pretty interesting to think about. So anyways, let's look at this next one, which is going to be really interesting because it's talking about a forecast of when we'll run out of each metal. So it's looking like oil will be around 2050, around 2050. Coal, way past 21. They're saying 2136. Gas, well into 2070. So let's look at lead is looking at 2030. Wow, that's pretty interesting. So we have silver that it's looking at like right past 2030. We're going to run out of silver. Gold, it's looking like about the same time. And copper, it's looking around 2050. So where to find the leftovers? It looks like a lot of it's, or what color is silver? So silver is dark red. And so it's looking like a little bit in North America, a lot of silver and gold in South and Central America, and a lot in Oceania. So anyways, a forecast of when we'll run out of each metal. So I just want to kind of skim through this. So reserves, technically speaking, smaller concentrations of gold everywhere. That's kind of what the last one was saying. New discoveries, yada, 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 right? So that's obviously going to be a big factor. But since silver is still a byproduct, it's just good. I mean, even right now, when we see these numbers coming from the Silver Institute, for the last 7 years, silver production has been getting cut back. And that's because for the last 10 years, the average price of silver has been $15. So miners don't look for silver. If they did, they would be silly. Gold is, has been 80 to 125 times more valuable. So why in the world are they going to look for silver when ounce per ounce gold is 80 times more valuable? They're going to look for gold, right? So anyways, 3 ways to play the coming silver shortage. So across the country, coin dealers are scrambling to fill orders amid massive silver shortages, and as the severity of this deepens, silver investors stand to profit considerably from the coming silver shortage. So silver dealers all over the country are running out of the white metal fast, right? We had U.S. Mint admit that there's a silver shortage, Perth Mint, Australian Mint, Mexican Mint, all having a very hard time finding enough silver to produce their coins. And buyers are waiting months for delivery of coins, bars, and junk silver. So in fact, silver supplies all over the world are at their lowest level in 200 years and dropping. Right now, there are less than 200 million ounces of above ground silver reserves. So according to Van Simmons, president of David Hall Rare Coins, there is an acute shortage of physical silver available at this time. The U.S. Mint is out of silver eagles and bars in 100-ounce size are currently unavailable at this time. In 30 years, he's never seen that. Compare that to 1950, when the U.S. alone had 2 billion ounces of silver reserves. So where has all the silver gone? Year after year, it's been used up to fill the gap between supply and demand. In 2007 alone, silver demand was at 843.7 million ounces, while silver mines only pulled 670 million ounces out of the ground. Meanwhile, industrial demand for silver, especially in electronics, has risen at a rate of 7% a year, primarily in growing markets like China and India, countries which have recently depleted their silver supplies and are now relying completely on imported silver. And yet, despite an increasing industrial demand for silver and worldwide supply scarcity, prices have remained relatively low at just over $12 an ounce, still 76 cents below its historic high. So this article is probably written. It would be, $11 silver in March 2020. So maybe March 2020 this was written. I just want to see real quick. How do they not tell you when this article was written? Well, I mean, it has to be March 2020 because that was when silver was $11, $12. So anyways, Basic economics teaches us that increased demand mixed with supply deficit leads to one result: higher prices, right? That's investing 101. Low supply, high demand shoots the price up. And this imbalance won't last forever. Whether you're buying silver bullion directly, ETF, mining stocks, this is a precious metal that could give your portfolio a nice boost in 2019 or 2020. So I mean, and actually what I was reading before I've covered this, I forget where it was from. Might have been CPM Group but they said that, and this was written in 2016, they said that there would be a silver shortage in 2020, and they said exactly. And what happened? There was a silver shortage in 2020, right? That was when the U.S. Mint ran out of American Eagles. That was when everything started. So it's pretty interesting to see how accurate some of these sources are. So the coming silver shortage means the right time to buy. So in addition to basic supply and demand, there are several more reasons why silver may be a vital addition to your portfolio in the current market. Silver thrives in world chaos, right? When silver exploded to $50 in 1980, oil prices were skyrocketing, U.S. racked up extraordinary debt, and Washington, D.C. was clouded with political uncertainty. Sound familiar? And does it sound familiar right now? Commodities tend to gain value during times of rising inflation and declining dollar, right? I mean, that's obvious. Dollar index is a direct correlation to gold and silver. And finally, silver is an excellent hedge against a poor performing stock market. So one, buy yourself silver, obviously, and do not let someone else do the work. They're talking about, all this ETF stuff. Don't do that. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. Make sure you buy it physical and store it in your possession, whether that's in a safe, whether that's in a safety deposit box, whether that's in a shoebox under your bed, whether that's a foot under the ground in your backyard. Wherever you want to store that silver, do it, but make sure that's you doing it. Because if it's not in your hand, if you really think your silver is in that vault, in a third-party country with a custodian's name, you can't even pronounce his last name, you really think your silver is there? No, it's not. Every ounce of silver you own, 100 other people theoretically own it on the SLV. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I thought this was a great video. I really hope this video gets the amount of exposure that it deserves, because this type of stuff is what people need to know, right? We're looking at how much is left in the ground, how much is left above ground, and also when we're going to run out. I mean, you can't get You can't get any better than that, folks, right? We can read articles all day with people speculating and theorizing, but this is actual numbers. This is looking at what everyone else is trying to talk about, right? So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, then like the video and make sure you subscribe, because I do tons of videos like this. I've been making a lot of interesting content lately. I'm sure you'll like it all. You know, we made a video talking about Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars talks about why it's so hard to find silver. We did another video talking about an interesting thing where a silver stacker got denied delivery from the COMEX, right? I mean, a lot of crazy stuff happening. You're all going to get it here, folks, on a daily basis. My upload schedule is 10 a.m., 5 p.m., and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. My 5 p.m. Eastern Standard video today is going to be announcing 2 winners of my giveaway. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.